Riddle me this. Do you think your savings are safe during times of economic uncertainty? Most people find out the hard way that the real risk isn't with the economy, but rather how you react to it. So, let's talk about it. When the economy gets shaky, when you read in the headlines that layoffs are happening all around us, prices are rising, interest rates are being flipped, the worst thing you can do is to freeze. The best thing you can do is to make smart, steady moves that build your confidence and not your anxiety. In this video, we're discussing the do's and don'ts during times of economic uncertainty with real-world advice and credit union tools that make staying financially grounded easier. Now, stay with me here. This video is not only going to be doom and gloom. This video should be used as a resource and really a guide to help keep your finances strong and steady, even when the headlines aren't. So, what is economic uncertainty? It's that awkward time when everything feels up in the air. Things like gas prices, up. Interest rates, constantly changing. Investments, volatile. Confidence in the future, a little wobbly. Unlike a formal recession, economic uncertainty can sneak up on you, especially during times when the market looks like it's bouncing back or staying consistent. That's why it matters now more than ever to be prepared. Do build and protect your emergency fund. Now, this isn't just smart, it's essential. Think of it like this. What happens when life gets unpredictable? What happens if you lose your job? What happens if an unexpected medical surprise pops up? What happens if you get a flat on your tire that requires you to buy another tire or perhaps a set of 4? Things are going to get a lot more complicated if you don't have the funds readily available to assist with those surprises. Which brings me to my next point, the next do in our series. Do keep investing consistently. Here's a truth bomb. Markets fluctuate. It's really what they do. However, if you're planning to invest for the long haul, meaning your retirement, kids' college plans, or really future goals, staying consistent is your safest and best bet. At Tropical Financial, we partner with experienced financial advisors that will help you understand market dips, stick with your goals, avoid emotional decision-making, and ultimately give you some advice on when you should buy things, especially when the prices are relatively low. And that is definitely what I would call opportunity. Here's another tip. Do pay down high interest debt. Economic pressure makes debt more expensive, especially when it comes to your credit cards. In fact, studies show that the average interest rate right now for a majority of the credit cards are hovering at around 20% plus, which by all accounts will eat into your budget. Now, this topic can get really deep and really detailed very quickly. There are so many different methods out there and everybody's finances are completely unique to their own. But just to throw some ideas out there, you can definitely look up the snowball or the avalanche method to see if maybe one of those two well-known methods would work for you. Now, moving on to our last do, this is probably something you have heard either directly or indirectly multiple times. And really, that is, do learn a new skill or strengthen your career. Economic shakeups usually mean workplace changes too. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, maybe it's layoffs, maybe it's the shifting of workplace roles. Either way, your best bet to get ahead of this sort of thing is to stay valuable. So the recommendation here is to do a quick Google search and see if there are any sort of digital tools or certifications that you can do. Now that we talked in length about the do's, let's head over to the opposite side of things and talk about the don'ts, the things that you should definitely not do if you can help it. Going into our first don't take on risky debt. Is there a new car that's caught your eye, or maybe there's a business that you really want to start, but you haven't necessarily done all the research for it just yet? Maybe take a moment to slow down and check your environment around you and personally assess your financial situation. Maybe it's not the right time to jump into those things because there could be really high interest rates for them. Instead, you should always try to keep your debt low and manageable. Another don't on the list is something that you've definitely heard before, but it's always good to reiterate and vocalize in general, which is don't quit your job without an actual backup plan. Do you hate your job? Well, that's completely valid, and there are tons of people that probably share your same sentiment that they hate their jobs. However, regardless of that sentiment, quitting your job without having something lined up beforehand, especially during times of economic uncertainty, is risky business. Instead, you can do either one or all of the following options. You could quietly look elsewhere, use this time to upskill, or talk to a career coach because many are free or low cost online. Either way, definitely have something lined up before you put in your 2 weeks notice or getting up and just simply walking out the door. Now, if you need to talk finances to ensure that this move is the right move for you, Tropical Financial's finance coaches are here to help. Now, I have given you all of this information, and frankly speaking, it's quite a bit of info. The hard part isn't necessarily digesting this info that I've told you, but it's sticking to a plan. It's because fear clouds judgment. It's because emotions override logic. It's because the news are so loud and your bills, they're real. So let's talk strategy. Here's how you can move forward with confidence. Step 1, run a financial fire drill. Ask yourself the following questions. If my income paused tomorrow, would I have enough to cover my bills? What are some things that I need to cut first? What safety nets do I have readily available? Let me preface this next step, which is completely optional, by the way, but just know that it will help you in the long run at the end of the day. So that being said, step 2, create a secondary income stream. Now, I know what you're thinking. No, you don't have to be an influencer, unless that's what you want to be, but more so think either freelance work, selling of digital goods and services, or even selling a skill that you already have to people that want to learn. If you're trying to figure out the cost, the time, the viability of starting small but scaling smart, look no further than at Tropical Financial's weekly blogs that we have tons of resources and information on that could very well benefit you if you plan on going this route. And last but certainly not least, step 3, trim the fat out of your budget. And honestly, this is where coffee shines. You can use coffee for its wide variety of content and valuable information, but you just as well could use it to print out your spending, label some of the needs and wants that are specific to you, and make better, more informed decisions for your financial goals. And you should double check with your primary bank account to see if they have the tools available for you to categorize your spending and to help you plan ahead what it is that you're trying to do. And rest assured, Tropical Financial and our digital platform, we have all of that. So, food for thought. Here's the truth. Economic uncertainty doesn't create problems. It simply reveals them. It shows us where we're vulnerable, but it also shows us where we're strong. And that in itself, that's the crux of true growth. The goal shouldn't be just to survive, just to make it through. Rather, the goal should be to come out of this with better habits, smarter strategies for your finances, of course, but also to have a financial partner that will be with you every step of the way. So let's recap all of the points that we made in today's video. Those points being, build a savings buffer, stay consistent with your investments, pay off high interest debt, avoid risky moves, learn a new skill in your industry, always have a backup plan for your job, and use the support that's already there for you. You don't need a crystal ball to prepare. What you need is a plan and a trusted partner to assist you with staying on track with said plan. And that trusted partner could be anyone. They could be your family, friends, trusted individuals, certain mobile apps, or even your primary financial institution. And you can lean on them to assist you with navigating through these uncertain times. Well, that's all I got for you in today's video. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more video content on financial tips or really financial happenings going around today. And if there's a topic that you'd like to learn more about, leave it in the comments below. That being said, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.